Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, there really hasn't been that much going on over the past couple of days, so since I'm a YouTuber, I'm gonna do what every YouTuber does when they don't have ideas. It's time to do a Q&A. Now, in all seriousness, I used to love doing these videos because you guys can tell me topics to talk about, if there's some YouTubers you want me to give my opinions on, or maybe just questions in general, and I used to do them quite often. But I was just sat here today, like, planning my video, and I was thinking, bloody hell, I haven't done a Q&A in probably about a year and a half. And to be fair, I was quickly reminded why I haven't done it in so long, because I was given the very hard-hitting questions like, do you like goth girls, and opinions on Freddo prices, which definitely ties into my content. But don't you worry, we also did get some serious questions, of course, like this one right here from Holly that says, smash or pass, Thomas the Tank Engine. Like, I don't know what impression I was given, or what type of question you guys thought I actually wanted, but this wasn't it. But it's definitely a smash. But in all seriousness, if you do enjoy this, I do want to do it more. So if you want to be involved in the next one, I just asked over on my Instagram for questions. It's at MARKIE. It's linked in the description. So if you want to be involved, that's the best way to do so. Have you seen the Drake versus Josh drama? Which is just not a question I was really expecting on this, to be honest. But the answer is yes. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. My childhood has really been ruined over the past couple of years because Drake and Josh was actually my favourite show, like of all time. And then just ignoring the drama that's been happening over the past couple of days, let's also remember the fact that Drake is a bit of a weird bloke to say the least. But yeah, I have seen the drama. I think it started with Josh going on the BFFs podcast.
Drake Bell.
Oh, it's fine. I wish him the best.
Yeah, something tells me it isn't fine.
Are you guys like not friends?
Not really, no.
What
There was
happened?
like Drake Bell went down a bad path.
Yeah, that's one way to say it, you know, just a bad path. Hey, God, so it happens to the best of us. Yeah, for some reason, if you haven't heard what happened to Drake, let's just say it was something to do with underage girls. Yeah, I think that probably clarifies it a bit.
And so we have like this small wedding, and the dirty little secret, I guess, was like, I knew that Drake and I didn't stay in touch for the 10 years since we had made the show, but no one needed to know that.
Which is fair enough, you know, they were colleagues, they worked together, completely understandable. Sometimes you don't get along with people you work with.
And I see these text messages from him, like cursing me out, coming for me. I'm like, on the night of my wedding. And I'm like, yo, and it's delusional because I'm like, bro, it's like we worked at Coffee Bean when we were 16. Like, I'm sorry, I'm 31 now. I might have lost your number.
And not only did he just send some texts, he also started tweeting out publicly, which I'm pretty sure everyone's aware of at this point because, I mean, it was a big thing, right? Drake is pissed because he's not going to Josh's wedding. But it turns out Drake actually responded to all of this on his own podcast, which is called Drake and Janet, and it uses, like, the Drake and Josh, like, branding as well, which is just a bit strange. But he did respond to all this and basically just called Josh a liar.
That was just a weird thing. Of saying that we weren't friends.
I think that bummed me out today too, just because it's just like a straight lie to the fandom to say that you guys haven't talked or hung out.
And yeah, there was a bunch more of stuff. Drake goes on to say that, like, him and Josh were pitching a show, but the idea behind the show Drake didn't really like because Josh was saying some controversial things in the script or something along them lines. It's all just a bit childish. I mean, long story short, if Josh doesn't want to be Drake's friend, I think he has a very good reason, you know, given what he's been up to the past few years. How do you have the motivation to make videos almost every day? Now, this is actually a strange question because, realistically, it is quite easy. Like, I would love to sit here and just tell you guys that I'm such a fucking workaholic, you know? All I do is just grind, you know? I only know the grind. But the reality is, I work maybe about 6 days a week, sometimes 7 if for some reason I just decide to do a bit more. And my days consist of, like, 8 to 9, maybe 10 hours of work, so a lot like so many people in the world who have very different jobs, so just kind of the same way that everybody else does. And obviously it helps that I also really enjoy doing this, so it doesn't really feel like work too much. Obviously some days I can't be arsed because I'm a bit of a lazy bastard, but most days it is pretty easy, which is why I find it absolutely hilarious when so many like YouTubers try and make it seem as if like this is the hardest job in the world, because for the majority of people, it's not. And obviously there's a few exceptions to the rule, you know, some people do obviously work like ridiculously hard who do YouTube and do so many other things at the same time. But yeah, for the most part, my friends who have quote-unquote normal jobs, if that's what you want to call them, work a lot harder than a lot of like YouTubers I know as well. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to answer your question. I wish I had a better answer. Let's play a game. What is the worst video on the trending page right now? Okay, right, let's have a look. To be fair, I don't think the trending page is actually anywhere near as bad as what it used to be, but let's see if we can find some shit. So we got Mr. Beast at the top. makes sense. Then we got the usual stuff you would expect, like a Batman deleted scene and then like a music video. We've also got some aspiring YouTubers who could really use the help, like Kylie Jenner. Like, why are you gonna put her on the trending page, okay? I'm sure it's just fine. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, like I said, I feel like the trending page isn't that bad, especially, I mean, the UK trending page from my personal experience. It isn't that bad anymore. It's just the kind of normal shit. I do remember when it was awful and it made zero sense, but I feel like they've actually improved it. So, well done, YouTube. Thoughts on James Charles now? I mean, they're not exactly the most positive thoughts in the world. Oh, and I'm just looking at his channel as well, and it seems like his views have actually dropped quite a bit. I swear he would never get, like, under 1 million views on a video before. I mean, I'm saying that as if that's a big deal. Like, fucking hell, I would cut off a limb if it meant that I could get 1 million views a video. But yeah, I mean, I was never exactly a big fan of James in the first place, because obviously it's just not the type of content I would watch. But I mean, after the whole Snapchat and kids thing, yeah, it's safe to say I probably won't be subscribing anytime soon. Makeup relay race versus Amp World. What the fuck is Amp World?
Hi sisters! James Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you guys can see, today I'm joined with some very special guests, Imp World!
Yeah, I hate it already, I can't lie. But yeah, I mean, if you do look at the comments, everybody is very positive there, so I feel like everyone has forgiven James for what happened, which is just normal nowadays. Welcome to YouTube. What got you into YouTube videos? How long did it actually take you to make it a job? I don't know if I've actually really ever spoke about this. I probably have. But long story short, I started YouTube when I was like, I want to say 13, 12 maybe. It was either like year 6 or year 7. It was what, like 2009, 2010? So yeah, maybe I was actually a bit younger, but I basically just started doing it because I started watching a bunch of Minecraft videos, you know, as most kids do. And I remember this is when like Minecraft like kind of first came out and I had no idea what it was about. And I watched a guy called X, I think he was called. He had a series called X's Adventures in Minecraft and it was unreal. I watched it every day, religiously.
Hey guys, welcome to another video.
Yes!
And you're probably asking yourself,
mate, look how different it looks.
And yeah, you are 100% right to ask yourself.
Yeah, this guy was my hero. So I started basically just doing my own kind of like Minecraft videos where I would like tie my iPod to like a chair with some tape and just record my screen using my iPod. And then I did that for a bit, you know, they got maybe like 1 or 2 views a video. And then I kind of stopped as I went into secondary school because people thought it was very weird, which to be fair, I was probably very weird for doing it back then. And then in the summer holidays between leaving secondary school and going into college, so when I was 16 years old, I decided to start it again, and then it became like a job properly, like where I could actually live of it, I believe in like 2018, like middle of 2018. Funny enough, I was actually getting enough views to probably live with it in 2017, but if you remember, that's when the apocalypse happened. So you would get a video of like 1 million views, and then all of a sudden, you made 19 pence. So middle of 2018 is when it became like a proper job, I guess. So yeah, I started in 2010 and didn't make a job until the middle of 2018, you know? Just 8.5 years. I really hit heights so quickly. Least favorite family channel. I love how you specified family channels, by the way. Is it really that obvious that I don't like family channels, eh? I didn't know I mentioned it. I mean, to be fair, there's a few that are bad. We have the 8 Passengers channel, which I'm definitely not a fan of. They basically got a bunch of backlash for the way they, like, punish their kids. Like, if their kids misbehave, they'll do things like removing their bed for 7 months, not giving them presents at Christmas, and they just have to watch their siblings get presents instead, or even sending their kids to, like, behavioral wilderness camps. But the weird thing is, they haven't actually uploaded in 2 months, and I wonder if this is because, like, so many people did make videos kind of criticizing the channel, because they still do upload on this channel called Connections with some all-time classics like asking permission to buy a donut, in which someone has actually commented saying Ruby is a control freak, which is the mother of the channel, and Connections responded saying Ruby was very controlling in the past. It was not until she started training with Connections that principles of honesty, responsibility, and humility completely transformed the way she lived. So yeah. When are we going to see that then? Because I'm seeing videos of Ruby on this channel like a year ago, and let me tell you, nothing's really got better over the past year. I mean, she literally posted a video herself, like, being very upset because her daughter is going to, like, university or college or whatever you call it in America. And the reason she's upset is not because she's going to miss her daughter, it was because she wouldn't be able to control what she does anymore. She literally says this herself. So yeah, I would probably say 8 Passengers are my least favourite, but honourable mention goes to the Prince family, because they're pretty fucking bad too. Cancel, binge watch, or collab. Trisha, Shane Dawson, and Nikocado. You know what? Big fan of this question. To be honest though, I think the answer is pretty simple for me. I would say cancel Shane Dawson, collab with Trisha, because I think that would get me a lot of views realistically. Binge watch Nikocado. Oh god, actually, I don't know if I could put up with that. I might have to cancel Nikocado and binge watch Shane Dawson, because when I think about it in my brain, whose videos could I watch for the longest period of time, it would probably be Shane, regardless of the fact that he's a bit of a dickhead. Like, Nikocado, if you are watching, I think you're a better person, but I can't put myself through that pain. Are there actually any YouTubers you like? God, I don't hate everybody, guys. The answer is yes, there's a lot, okay? I like Airax videos, I like Ryan Trahan's videos, I listen to a bunch of podcasts, probably more than I watch videos nowadays. A lot of the podcasts being like MMA, UFC related podcasts, so I'm not gonna bore you with that, but I do also watch like Impulsive, which has actually grown me a lot over the past like year or so. I feel like this question comes up like every time I do a Q&A, but there's always one person who's like, London or Middlesbrough, and they've said that they will judge me for this, which I guess I better give the right answer. Middlesbrough obviously being where I'm from, it's like the north of England, because I realise a lot of Americans watch these videos, and you definitely won't have heard of Middlesbrough before. But I mean, the answer's very simple, okay? Obviously I'm going to say Middlesbrough, why would I not? And you know, whilst we're on that note, I may as well say this, you know, I was going to keep it a secret until it happened, but fuck it, if you're this far into the video, here's a little spoiler. In just under 2 weeks time, I'm actually going to be moving back to Middlesbrough. Yeah, that was always going to be the plan, you know, I wanted to move to London because it's kind of like the LA of the UK, you know, that's kind of what YouTubers do, I guess. But I just wanted the experience of living in like a big city, and I have done that for the past like 3.5 years, and it's like really good, you know, I love this city, and I obviously will be coming back regardless. But in terms of actually living in a place, like London isn't exactly the most homely place in the world. It's just ridiculously busy, you know, you can't go on like a drive around because the traffic is ridiculous. You can't go on some walks up some fields and some hills and stuff because there's no such thing here. And yeah, the tenancy was coming to an end in the house I'm currently living in, and I just kind of miss being back home, so I thought, we may as well do it now, you know, get a house back up north. Which is going to be interesting because I've actually never had a house to myself before. I've lived in a flat with other people, a flat by myself, and a house with other people, but never a house by myself. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, if you're doing a bit of a house tour, I'm sure I will end up doing that because I am beyond excited, okay? This next 2 weeks is going to fucking drag, but we'll make it there eventually. Oh, and I think this is probably a good place to end it because I have just seen one that says, Q&A, Callum, are the ideas low? God, how did you know? But yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. If you did enjoy, please leave a like down below and let me know in the comments as well if you did enjoy it because I would love to do another one in the future, and if you do want to be involved in the future, the best way to do that's on my Instagram. It's at MARKIE, it's linked in the description. And yeah, if you are new, please subscribe and all that stuff, and I guess until the next video, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.